Hello, people of God. My name is John Sagoe. I'm the apostle of New International Church. Our headquarters is in Switzerland, and we have the branches of our churches in several continents, in 3 different continents, to be precise, as of date. And so these videos, we want to use them to share with you what I call the behind the scenes of ministry, because very often we know about the men of God and we see all that they do on stage, but we don't know really what goes on behind the scene. And so in this series, we are going to be bringing you more and more things that happen behind the scene. And then when we are going to mention any man of God, we're going to take a permission from them, get them involved, and then share also their behind the scene. But otherwise, I will be just sharing generally the things that I have experienced. As of date, I have pastored New International Church in Switzerland for 20 years and counting, but I have been in ministry for over 30 years. So I have some few things that over the years I can share with us that has really take place. And so today, behind the scene, we want to go and share with us what really happened when a man of God is going through a challenge. What happened to him, what goes on in him, what goes on with his family, and what goes on with the church people. So one of the example I want to take today will be in the year 2019, to be precise, around October 2019, I was diagnosed with a very strong spinal cord problem. So we went out that year for a leadership retreat, and from that leadership retreat, I began to develop pain, severe pain. So I told my wife, I said, I don't know what is happening, but I am feeling some pain in my waist, but it's not a normal pain. It's really severe. And then, but I managed to lead through that leadership retreat weekend, and then we come home. And the day we came home, my wife actually reminded me that she felt that there was a change when I lifted up the suitcase to bring it into the house after we arrived with the car. And then it was like there was a kind of a serious problem began that very moment. And so I am sharing this story to let us out there know that when the man of God goes through challenges, some of the things that they can expect, we don't say that every church faces the same thing, but it can happen. So we need to prepare ourselves, because up to this very moment, I've been pastoring the church for many years, never miss any service, always in the service, both on Fridays and Sundays. And if we have a weekly service, I'm always there. Very strong person in stature as well, and a very, moving person that I am. I'm always pushing and moving and shaking things. So anyway, when this incident happened, we were like thinking, it's nothing. So the following day was actually happened on Saturday, and the following day was a Sunday. So I came, I preached the gospel. Nobody noticed that I was in a serious pain. I even afterwards ministered to the sick was healed, people were delivered, and etc. But I went home still with the same pain, And then the beginning of the week, the pain began, to increase. And then it get to a particular day. I don't remember if it was a Wednesday of the week. I couldn't get out of the bed. You know, it was so severe because I remember exactly what happened. I went to see my doctor. He did what he did with their machine, and then it was like the pain was completely gone. It was really completely gone. And then, but he gave me an appointment to come for the second day. And then I went the second day. And the second day he did something, and that was it. I don't know what he did, but something shifted in my spinal cord and was really, really beyond fix. You know, it went out of the way. So when I came home, I told my wife, I said, ooh, there was a bad idea. I should have stayed with the one I did yesterday, and that would have been fine. But this one I went today really, really destroyed something in me. I feel really that something has broken in my spinal cord. Since then, I'm feeling really pain and unbearable pain. And so that very evening, I went to bed. Then I couldn't get up again. So long story short, I had to be taken by ambulance to the hospital. And therefore, in the hospital, when we arrived, they said, oh, I needed operation because if they don't operate me, there is no way I could stand on my feet again, you know. And then, of course, you know, this kind of operation has already always a side effect, and they go through all this process with you and etc. Anyway, make the long story short, I went through that operation with narcose and all that goes with it. And then my wife had to come back to the church, of course, come home, come to the church, because that very weekend we were supposed to have all-night service. And so my wife came, and she had to lead the all-night and then share with the church what has happened. And then she felt, and that's why we are sharing this behind the scene. She told me that later on, of course, when I recovered, she told me that she really felt abandoned. You know, she felt very, very, very alone in that time, because it was like all the church people that I was always standing there for, ministering to, she didn't feel their support. She didn't feel that they were supporting. Even there was a man that came to her and said, give me the, I'm talking about a church member, said to her, give me the address of where your husband is in the hospital, because I want to go and tell him I want to leave the church. Can you imagine? That's how the kind of things that was really coming to her, you know. And so she was so down, and she was asking herself, so if my husband died, is it what I'm going to get from the church people? Is that how the church people are going to treat me? Is the way I am feeling? And so she's told me that she felt so much down because she didn't get the support. People were not even asking her, what area can we support you? What can we do for you? And etc. You know, yes, it can be that for the church, it was a shock for them, because, like I said, I was a very strong man. Still I am, very strong personality. I am very, you know, going. I can stand from morning till night ministering and all that. But just to say to the pastor's wife out there and to the pastors out there, you know, that are in ministry, it's very important that either you prepare your congregation to let them know that you are a man of God or a woman of God. That means you are first man before you become, before the God inside of you come in, or woman before the God inside of you, so that in case of eventuality, that they will be able to also relate to it, because the incident of mine taught us a lesson that we cannot really just continue ministry like that. We have to let people know that we are also human. Things can happen to us. Just to the glory of God, that was the only first weekend I ever missed church in the last 20 years. And up to date, I have still never missed church, because the following weekend I was already back in church and ministering again, and have been going on since then. And then I hardly forsake, to the glory of God. But I just want to say, even that one incident that happened in 20 years shook us and let us learn that we need to also train the church people to know that we are human, and that we can be, in a need of attention, or in a need of medication, or in a need of help, and that it is good for them to be aware of that. Of course, I have faith, I have what you call crazy faith, and I still believe that God is going to see me through to fulfill the assignment that He has given to me on earth. But still, it's good to know some of the things that happen behind the scene, because when my wife was sharing this with me, I was really, even though I was really feeling for her, and even up to date, I was still feeling for her for that incident, what she had to go through, in my absence of that weekend, unexpected. And it's the same with death. Death does not announce that it's coming. It happens suddenly, so people have to be prepared to, if you belong to a church, be ready to support your man of God, your woman of God, more especially in the case of a difficult moment like that. That's really when they need you the most. So if you're a church person, listening to us today, try to be able to be really useful in the church and be a help. Don't be egoistic and only just take what you can take, because again, those people that stand there and minister and pray for you, they are men and women of God. I mean, the Lord was telling me one day, He said, John, you will have no idea when you get to heaven, if you have to see a picture of what you need to do or go through in order to minister in Switzerland. And I'm not saying this because of pity party, but I'm just saying this because the Lord is telling me that, because you have no idea that sometimes all the spiritual warfare and all the fight that you have to fight in order to be able to stand there for the people, and some of them, any slightest thing, they don't even appreciate it, because they don't even realize all you go through to be able to be present for them. So I want to encourage all the men of God, let's be real, let's be transparent, let's share our weaknesses, but at the same time, let's also encourage our church people to know that we are men before the God. God bless you. I hope you have enjoyed this behind the scene today. If you have not yet subscribed for this channel, we want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel and press the notification button, because we will be coming on and bringing you this kind of behind the scene. Wow, there is so many stories like this that we're going to be sharing with you, that is quite encouraging, what happened behind the scene of the men and women of God. Till we come your way again, we want you to be blessed and remain a winner. We love you. We love you. We love you. Shalom.